Do this chapter at first, but while I was sitting here, sirens and stuff like that started going past my window, and it was just a confirmation about literally what I'm about to talk about. And it's the future of self-central. The very first sentence in this chapter is, "My spirit is predicting a really horrible event happening to our city." Now, right now, it is January 14th, 2025. The California wildfires just erupted. A lot of people just lost a lot of money, like billions of dollars just got literally burned down. And the insurance companies and stuff like that starting to, ban things, not give them help. Like it's the higher end parts of Los Angeles is really starting to suffer. And I'm also going to go down to the bottom of this chapter right here, just for clarity. This book has been released. This was written 10/23/2023, right? I made sure to add that into this just so there isn't any confusion about the legitimacy of what I'm about to say. So, I'm actually going to read it to you guys. "My spirit is predicting a really horrible event happening to our city. This is going to be a local problem before it spreads to an international chaos. Unfortunately, people with melanated skin will suffer the most. I feel very strongly that there is going to be some type of bill, some type of something is passed. And I say it down here. I'm not sure if this is a legal bill they pass or another crooked leader, but something happens in the media that's going to spark an outrage, similar to the impact of Black Lives Matter or George Floyd, but with the scale of our latest 2020 pandemic. We've seen plenty of times over these last few years that events can spark change and pain in almost an instant, seemingly with no warning. Well, this is my warning. I don't know what this event is. What we know, we just saw how Trump and them, he just got elected and stuff like that. We've already been seeing very militant acts regarding that side of things when we start talking about how they literally tried to off that man on stage. Like there's certain things that's happening that's giving me, at least. Hold on, let me fix my camera, y'all, because why does my thing want to start messing up? Now I want to get a really important message out. There's going to be some type of bill, some type of law, some type of something that puts us against the wall, right? Where it feels like we're the target spiritually and physically. Now, if you notice with all these fires and stuff that's happening right now, where are all of these rich people going for assistance, quote unquote, looking for help? The ghettos. We're the ones setting up the camps, the foundations, the giving out the food resources. When they don't have what they need, we typically sustain ourselves without them because we've had to this whole time. And when this event happens, right, there's going to be three main groups that save our ass, in other words, right? I'm talking about the artist, the gang members, and the leaders and the spiritual thought leaders, And I'm gonna dive into each one of these things for me. You can feel free to read it too as I get into this. The artist is typically the person who's most in tune with their community. They're the ones who have emotion and can articulate that emotion. What's going on around me? What's actually happening? And how do I articulate this in a way to where the people around me also understand? So the artist is going to be a key aspect because they're the people who know how to relay the message, in other words, right? Second, the gang members. We always try to exile the gangs and think that, gangs need to be ended and all this other type of stuff. If anything was to actually happen, the gang members would be the ones protecting us, not the civilians. Just like how gangs were initially started to be Black Panthers, if something was to actually erupt in Los Angeles, we would need their help. They're the only ones that's bold enough to run headfirst into a fire. They're the only ones bold enough to actually use the guns that they have. They're the only ones bold enough to somewhat police the community that they represent, that they love, right? So we're going to need gang members if anything was to actually happen. So us trying to end them and, somewhat exile them from the situation hurts us more than it benefits us, because we're forgetting why gangs were started in the first place. They've just got misaligned in a way. But if something was to actually happen, promise you, all of their common sense would come back immediately, and it would go back to what they were initially put here to do. I promise. And then the third ones, right? The leaders. They're the ones who just know how to think. They're the ones who knows the economic standpoints. They know how to put two and two together. They know how to go actually get the planes and get us out of here if we need to actually retreat. They're the ones who can put the pieces together. They're the Malcolm X, right? They're the ones who think, use just straight brain power, and can debate you out. Like there's just certain things like that, right? We're gonna need the leaders. Those three potent pillars is what make up the Black community. Look at the Black community. The figures that come out of the Black community is either the artist, the gang member, or the person who thinks. The corporate, the business side of things, the doctors and stuff like that. It's only three pillars right there. There's only three routes Black people typically go down. You use your brain, you use your fist, or you use your voice. We've only got those three right now. And so when something actually happens, those three pillars is going to be the things that gets us out of here. We're going to need it, bro. It's literally like I'm prophesizing in these things, and it messes me up too, because I didn't realize why I was saying these things in the manner that I was saying it and why I was actually saying it, right? But it's starting to make a lot more sense as time goes on, especially once it gets to things like here. Whatever this event is going to cause us to stick together more than ever before. It's going to spark clarity, agreement, and a sense of family in our communities. The three parties I mentioned earlier are the ones to make this possible. We're going to get put up against a wall, almost as if there's a physical and spiritual war happening at once, strictly focused on us. What just happened with all of these California fires? They got a rude awakening that you need us. You can be in the hills, you can be, cooped up in your mansion, all sorts of type of stuff. You can think you're separated from the true spirit and soul of Los Angeles, because the spirit and soul of Los Angeles is truly in the ghettos, right? It's occupied by the Black people, by the Hispanics, by the native and the Indian, the indigenous people, because I don't know, they don't sometimes like being called, Spanish and Hispanic and also all this other type of stuff. So I'm just gonna go by natives, right? The native people, we occupy Los Angeles. We're the true spirit, the true soul of this soil. The moment they were put in an instance where they needed help, they all flooded our communities. I kid you not. They have camps set up right now for food drives in places in the city we don't even go to because of safety concerns. We only go there when we need to. They've made whole camps in these same, like, overly comfortable for some odd reason. We don't have that option. Like, I've never seen this much non-melanated skin tones in such dangerous places and seemingly not care. Like, we're going to come here and we're going to use this whether y'all think we're not, or like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's such an interesting dynamic when you look at what I'm talking about, like the true essence of it. We have an essence of community, an essence of family. We have it, like, we can really stick together, but we're separated. The other side sees clearly the amount of unity and the stuff that we have at least done for ourselves. The resources we have, just the bare minimum, how we can sustain off the bare minimum. They see that. If we were to take the same effort, the same energy, the same aggressiveness that we have to aiding the people who put us in this situation back into us, back into our communities, back into this, would be too powerful. They know that. The only thing that's stopping our communities, at least from moving forward, is the lack of unity. We don't know how to band together. That's it. That's all. But whatever this event happens, I don't know if it's Trump that passes it. I don't know what it is. I just, like, literally, I can't tell you, because when it comes to government and stuff like that, things will be in the process of getting passed before we even know about it. They'll tell you, oh, they're talking about, passing this bill or whatever the case may be in 3 months. That shit was signed last year. They just haven't. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I can't guess the exact or predict the exact bill, the exact law that it is, but I know for a fact it's going to have something to do with law. Somebody's going to feel entitled to something. Bingo. Entitlement. That's the word. I just hit it right on the dot. Entitlement. A lot of these people who lost their homes, they're very entitled. They feel as if something's owed to them. Because of the government. They feel like the government did them a certain way, or whatever the case may be. Or the governor and also the type of stuff. Oh my god, did I lose my train of thought? I think I did. But it's just that sense of entitlement. They're gonna feel entitled. Oh, and then that law that got passed, where Trump made it where people can, or police officers rather, have immunity to certain things. Like, I hope you guys are really, like, hearing the subtleties in the conversations that they're having. Immunity? You think the reason your house burned down is because of something the government did? Like, just underlying conversations, assassination attempts. There's certain things that are happening. Those people in those hills that got burnt down, they didn't vote for Kamala. I'm not saying if you voted for Trump or Kamala, you're a bad person. But we have to look at the groups of people that tend to vote for each side, and the headspace that can typically be rooted behind a certain head, behind a certain president. Majority of those people on those hills voted for Trump. Very militant, very racist on the lowest key. Depending on if they want to show it or not, then it could be high key. They're going to feel entitled to something. You just canceled our insurance. So you're telling me, you just canceled our insurance. Y'all didn't want to clean up the brush. Y'all aren't helping us rebuild. No insurance. Like, people feel entitled. I don't think y'all realize a lot of this country has a very high level of entitlement. It only takes one leader, one president, one thing to agree with that entitlement for them to want to take more. And they have a history of taking shit from people, taking land, taking respect. They have a history of when they want something, they try taking it from you. Believe it or not, you know, you used to like to say black people are the real criminals and shit like that. We didn't start this shit. We didn't start this theft and all this shit. We weren't taking these lands. I promise you. We were cool. We you feel me? We weren't doing that. But yeah, take it as you want. I would pay attention. I hope more. You know what's crazy? I want to say I would hope more black people get into the political space, and true black people. Like, I mean, ones that have the voice. We need more Malcolm X types, right? But I don't even know how far into that system they'll let them get. I'll be so real with you. We just need more community leaders. Talk to each other. You feel me? And figure out how to do something for ourselves. If we have a whole continent, really. If we truly wanted to make some shit move, we know where to go. We're just procrastinating on it because we don't think we're ready as a people. A lot of us have fantasized what it would be like if we were back on our shit. A lot of us. So, yeah, man, I love y'all. Be safe out here. This book really, even though it's centered towards Los Angeles, I promise you, a lot of this shit is happening other places. You go down south, oh my god, there's still sundown towns. They even place like sort of sundown towns up north in Northern California, like in the forest and redwoods and stuff like that. Like, all because it's not potent. Niggas aren't whipping you, or they aren't whipping you with a whip and shit, don't mean that it's not still a thing, and it's not still happening. They whip us in other ways. They whip us in ways that we don't know that we're being whipped, because if we knew we were being whipped, we would get pissed off. But if we don't know we're getting whipped, we're just like, ow, 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 that hurts. I don't know what hurts, but it hurts. Ow. Yeah, we're gonna keep dealing with it. So, yeah, man, I love y'all. I'm gonna end it there. Be safe. Prioritize your mental health. Learn how to sustain yourself, even if that's just like at the basic level of things. Like, take a class about how to cook. Take a class about, water. Nature. Go hiking. Learn how to navigate through. You get what I'm saying? Like, get in tune. And prioritize the things that we have. All the geeks and all the nerds, you may need them one day. All them gang members or you call hooligans and shit, you may need that same young nigga one day. One day, that young nigga may be the one protecting you and your family. You may have needed that young nigga. So, and the artists, stop devaluing them. They know how to speak up for you when you don't know how to speak up for you. Ain't that some shit? So, yeah, man. Prioritize our community. Love yourself, and I love y'all. Peace.